Good morning. It's Tuesday in the warehouse, and today things get a little musical, so stay tuned. I went to a thrift store on Saturday after I got finished with yard sales. It wasn't a big thrift store, it wasn't a Goodwill or even Salvation Army. It was a church thrift store. It was nice, don't get me wrong, it's nice, but it doesn't have the resources and everything as a Goodwill and such. But wandered through. Sometimes they have half price off everything, and it's fun to go every once in a while. But I always go to the books, but I never tend to find anything because the books don't seem to change. They don't rotate books in and out or put fresh ones in. Maybe they just don't get a whole lot. I don't know. But Saturday was fill a grocery bag for $5. Sounds okay, but I didn't know I could find a grocery bag full. It's a paper bag, not a plastic bag, so it's a pretty big bag. So I kept looking around and I found a stack of Louis Grizzard paperback books. Louis Grizzard, for those who don't know who he is, was a humorist. He wrote a column for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and it was syndicated all over the country, and he wrote many, many books, and everybody loved Louis Grizzard. And there was a stack of about 6 of his paperback books. Paperback books 50 cents, so 6 times 50, all right, that's hitting around $3 plus tax. And I thought, well, I might as well get the bag and see if I can fill it up the rest of the way. So I put the Louis Grizzard books in there, and so I'm walking around and I'm scanning books. Yes, I'm a book scanner. I have my Geek tool and my PDA with subscription that lets me scan books without having a Wi-Fi or a cell signal. But I also use my phone, so I was either use my Geek tool or my phone to scan the books. And I found this one. I looked it up by the ISBN number on the back. I didn't even open the book, so it scanned like at $7, So I stuck it in the bag. I mean, what the heck? I'm already paying for the bag, so what the heck? So I put it in there. So when I got home later, I started going through the books, and I opened up the first page, and I saw this, if you can see it. The first page is full of not gift inscriptions, but inscriptions from members of the Coasters, the Dixie Cups, Doo-Wop artists, shag artists, beach music artists. The book has bunches of autographs and inscriptions. The Dixie Cups, the Coasters, the Drifters, and some that I don't even recognize. There's one, Jimmy Dale Jordan and the Fabulous Earthquakes. Never heard of them. But it's just full of them. I think the main inscription was from Maurice Williams and the Zodiacs. Maybe you've heard of them. But it's doo-wop music, and it's just got autographs galore in it. I was stunned. Now, I have no idea how to price something like this. Obviously, it's worth money. It's worth some sort of money. I'm not sure. So I did what I always do when I'm stuck on this kind of thing. I went to Facebook first, because I'm a member of the Thrifting board on Facebook. Maybe some of you are too, but it's run by Jason T. Smith. Maybe you saw him on Thrift Hunters, I believe it was, and he has this wonderful, wonderful board where you can post pictures, ask questions, basically anything you want to know about thrifting. And if I don't know something, I'll always ask the question, and I'll always get an answer. Except this time, because they didn't know. They were amazed that I found this book. One person even suggested that I send it up for auction at Sotheby's or whatever the place up in New York. And I took that advice. I emailed them and showed them my book, took pictures, and they weren't interested. But it just means I'm going to put it on eBay, but I have no idea how to price it. I'm just going to have to probably set it at auction and maybe set a high reserve and maybe make some good money off it. But they were amazed at what I found, and they were complimentary on it, and they gave me some help on some of the inscriptions. So this was an amazing find, at least in my book, pun intended. And I hope it brings a lot of money, and I'll let you know if it does. So that's the first part of my musical weekend. The second part of my musical weekend are these magazines. these Hitting the Note magazines, the quarterly almanacs for the Allman Brothers Band fans of the Allman Brothers. All right, who knows who the Allman Brothers are? Raise your hand. All right, he does. Okay, I see someone in back does. She does. She's raising her hand. She's waving wild, so she must really like them. But the Allman Brothers was part of the Southern rock genre that started in Macon, Georgia at Capricorn Records. And they weren't the only stars there, obviously, and I will talk about that in part 3 shortly. But they were one of the most well-known names to come out of Capricorn Records. They recorded in Macon, and their music went all over the world, of course. These magazines I bought a while back. I can't remember how much I paid for them, but probably not much. But I sold them for 3 of them for $25 with free shipping. And so maybe get $18 out of them. So that's not a bad turnaround. And it just leads me in to my part 3 of my musical weekend, which I'm going to talk about next. And last but not least, the third part of my musical weekend are CDs. Now, I still pick up CDs. Some of you don't. Some people think CDs aren't worth anything anymore, and I think for the most part you're probably right, but there are exceptions to the rule. Went to an estate sale on Saturday, and you know, some of my best stories always start with, I went to an estate sale. Well, I went to the estate sale, and in one of the bedrooms, one of the beds was full of CDs. And they had 2 groups. They had one group that just said CDs, $3 each, which I think is a crime against selling, you know, CDs for $3 each. To me, that ranks right up with selling VHS tapes for $5 each that I saw at an estate sale one time. No way. But they had one group that said $3 CDs. Then they had another group that said $5 CDs, and they said Capricorn CDs. Now, we've already talked about a Capricorn, right? You know, Allman Brothers and some other stars, Southern rock genre. So I went immediately to the Capricorn CDs, but they were like $5 a piece. So I started scanning them. I would love to have all of them, obviously, but at $5 a piece, that was, you know, a little much money for something that probably wasn't worth anything. So I picked out 13. Most of these are new, and the ones that aren't new have the shrink wrap off of them, but they don't have the sticker off, so you can't open them. Not sure why people do that. And these are ones that got a little hole through them. As you can see, sometimes they're hole through the UPC code, sometimes they're hole through the case. But again, Allman Brothers, every CD that I'm showing you is probably worth at least $25 or $30. Allman Brothers. Cowboy. Never heard of Cowboy, but apparently $35. Wet Willie. Have heard of Wet Willie. Southern rock. 2 Elvin Bishops. Both of them, each of them was $30. Sea Level. Never heard of Sea Level, but $20. Another Elvin Bishop, $35. And Livingston Taylor. Never heard of Livingston Taylor, $30. And the rest of these are $30, like $53, $60. And I couldn't even find her, so I know she's probably worth something. And you know, another $25. So the Capricorn CDs, I scanned a lot more. I had a bunch more, and like I said, I'd love to have had them all, but these are the ones that were worth the most money. I got all 13 of them for 40 bucks, so she gave me a deal. And I wanted to go back the next day, maybe get the rest of them, but I didn't make it back. So, but that's okay. I think I got the best ones. So between my Capricorn CDs, my musical book, and my Allman Brothers almanacs, I think I had a musical weekend. What about you? Alright, that's it for this time. I'm going to get all these CDs listed. I can't decide if I want to list them individually or maybe list them as a lot and get one big price so I don't have to, you know, ship them out one at a time. But I'll let you know how I do and how I sell it. So until next time, we'll talk again.